Good day, everybody.
Good evening.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Good whatever time it is that you're listening to us.
Good brunch.
Welcome to round 33 of The Hop. Gabe and Steven are here. We're very excited about this episode. We traveled a long way to get our hands on today's beer. It's going to be a good one.
We knew we would have to go out of our way to get it, but damn it, we got it and we're here. So without any further ado, hey, Steven.
Yeah.
Let's grab a drink.
Round 33 of The Hop. We made it.
We did
this
it.
Far.
We're here. We're calling this the Larry Bird episode for 33. Every time I see 33, I just immediately think of Larry Bird. So
I think of I've never thought a thought about the number 33.
hasn't come across your mind?
No, it doesn't. What are we drinking today, Gabe?
We are drinking Lion Brewing Company out of Springfield, Massachusetts. We are very, very excited for this beer. We've heard many good things, lots of good reviews and the whatnot. So we are excited to get to it.
Yep, and we drove all the way to Springfield to pick it up. We had to go directly to the city, and we did because
lovely town.
We sought this beer out. Yeah, lovely place.
They were very friendly there.
Yeah, no, the guys at the liquor store that we went to,
Eddie's Liquor Store. Shout out to Eddie's Liquor Store.
Shout out to Eddie's Liquor. They were very excited to give us this beer. The brewery was very nice to tell us where to find their beer, even though they were closed. And we got it, and it's coming up for you. You can follow the show on Instagram and Twitter. We are at the HO Podcast if you're not doing that already. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. You can give us a rate and review there. That would be very helpful. It's good for the show. And find us wherever you're listening to us right now. We're in other places as well. Spotify, Google,
YouTube.
You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if like 100 of you do that or something, we get like a fun YouTube URL, which I can customize. We could be youtube.com/Montana. That probably already exists.
Oh man, can you imagine?
We could be anything.
Montana Beer Boys.
If 100 of you subscribe to that, we can have you guys vote on what you want our URL to be.
That would actually be pretty awesome. We should absolutely
So get out there and do that. Yeah, let's get into the news. What's going on in the beer world?
There's a lot happening in the beer world. Some good things, some bad things. Steven, let's start off with something good.
Okay, well, we're starting off in California, where Crowns and Hops Brewing, which is based in Inglewood, California, they have launched an initiative called 8 Trill Pills. It's an initiative meant to support Black-owned breweries. The brewery is owned by Benny Ashburn and Teo Hunter. They are one brewery out of about 60, give or take, that are Black-owned breweries in this country. We have addressed on this show quite a few times that there are about 8,300 craft breweries in the United States, and of that giant number, about 60 of them are Black-owned, which is incredibly small. So this initiative is meant to kind of help build diversity in the industry. This is a fund that will support Black entrepreneurs in the craft brewing industry. Benny Ashburn said, "We know firsthand some of the struggles and pitfalls that come with building a craft beer brand, and we know how hard it was to identify some of those resources, whether it's financial or just educational opportunities. With this initiative, we want to create and support that resource for other breweries, specifically Black-owned breweries." This fund kicked off last week with a $100,000 grant from the Scotland-based Brew Dogs Development Fund, which is also providing funding to Crowns and Hops as a brewery. And this falls in line with a trend we've definitely seen in the brewing industry, along the lines of sort of the movement we've been seeing in this country since May, June. We've seen a lot of these kinds of initiatives pop up. Certainly we've talked about the Black is Beautiful brewing initiative. Brooklyn Brewery's brewmaster Garrett Oliver announced the Michael Jackson Foundation for Brewing and Distilling, which provides educational grants and scholarships for Black, Indigenous, and people of color. And also Constellation Brands announced its venture capital arm would invest $100 million in Black-owned beverage companies over the next decade. So it's great to see. White Lion Brewing Company is a Black-owned brewery.
Yes.
That is one of the reasons we went so far out of our way to get our hands on their beer, because we're committed to showcasing as many of these lesser-known breweries as we can. And we kicked that off last month with Rhythm, and it could not have been a better experience for this show. So
absolutely.
Hope to see more diversity in the beer industry moving forward, and the Crowns and Hops Brewing 8 Trill Pills is meant to help with that. And I should mention the reason it's called the 8 Trill Pills is because $8 trillion is the sum of money that could be added to the U.S. economy over the next 30 years, if not for racial disparities that are baked into social and economic structures, according to a study or a paper written by Ani Turner for the W.K. Kellogg Foundation called The Business Case for Racial Equality, a Strategy for Growth. So I haven't read the paper. I don't know what's in it. It's an economics paper. This is not an economics podcast, but that's the reason it's called that. And this is great. Best of luck to these guys.
In other news, Somerville Brewing is closing its doors permanently.
Oh my God.
Ew.
I know, guys.
Shucks.
It's the worst. The Somerville, Massachusetts company that was founded in 2011 unfortunately had to file for bankruptcy last year. And at the time, the company owed more than $1.2 million to 6 Lion Holding creditors, now facing increased financial struggle as a result of this good old pandemic. The company has opted to close, and the assets were auctioned via telephone. That sounds like an interesting auction. Anywho, in June, Somerville's actual gross profit was negative $81, big difference from their projected $32,000.
Yeah, I'm not great at math, but I think if your net profit is negative $81,
Yeah.
we've been playing a lot of Monopoly, and I think you would lose at that point.
Yeah, at that point, you got to
Monopoly doesn't let you go negative.
In February, before COVID-19 forced the closure of bars and restaurants nationwide, Somerville's actual gross profit was $154K. The projected gross profit for that month was $191K. Before the pandemic,
but they were already not hitting their goals as it was before the pandemic.
right?
So
yeah.
I think that's an important stat to put in there, is that, the pandemic certainly didn't help, but this brewery has been in trouble for some time.
Unfortunately, they operated in 2 locations, a brewery and taproom on Ward Street in Somerville, and the American Fresh Brew House, a brew pub in Boston's Assembly Row Entertainment District. So again, another one bites the dust. Another brewery up in brewery heaven.
Moving on, Stone Brewing's CEO has resigned this past week. The CEO, Dominic Engels, joined the company in 2016. He had been with Palm Wonderful for 11 years, and now he is leaving his post. This comes to us from an internal letter that was circulated to the staff by Steve Wagner last week. Steve Wagner is taking over as interim CEO at the company. He has assumed that role, and co-founder Greg Koch will remain the executive chairman. In his letter to employees, Wagner wrote, "We have a bright future ahead, and I look forward to Stone's continued success. Greg, the Stone Board of Directors, and I will be working to find the right person to lead the company's advancements and growth. We wish Dominic well and thank him for all that he's contributed to Stone." So no reason was given for his departure at this time. Not sure what exactly is happening there, but he is stepping down. Stone Brewing, however, does anticipate a bounce back from the COVID-19 situation.
They better. They're a good brewery.
That's true.
We featured them on this show. We had some great killer brews, so check it out if you haven't already.
Yep. And they will, like I said, be searching for a new CEO. So, if you want to be CEO of a brewery, applications may be open. I don't know.
I don't know even where you go to find that online.
I don't know either. Probably not on Indeed.com.
Application.brewery.gov.
.gov. It's
That's
definitely
probably
a
what it
government
is.
agency.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some shakeups at the Stone Brewing facility down there in Escondido.
Boulevard Brewing announcing a partnership with the Ronald McDonald House of Kansas City. The Ronald McDonald House Charities of Kansas City is the newest partner for Boulevard's it's called the Pills Partner Series, which is a program that launched this spring as a way to celebrate many important connections between Boulevard and Kansas City and to give back to a variety of worthy organizations. This was beginning in September and continuing throughout the season. Cans and bottles of the Boulevard KC Pills will be decked out in classic red and gold, ready for tailgating with a portion of proceeds donated to the organization. I'm sure that sales might be through the roof because I don't know if you heard, Steven, but the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, so I can only imagine the beer is...
What?
Right? Anywho, speaking of football, the former Chiefs quarterback Trent Green will help promote the partnership through various channels and will be made available to select media toward the end of August. And virtual promotional events, including a Trent Green Twitter takeover, social giveaways, special events, a sweepstakes benefiting the organization, and football-themed in-store giveaways of the Kansas City Pills prize packs at select grocery and liquor stores. Ronald McDonald. I haven't said that name in quite some time.
He's so much more than a hamburger guy. He's and a creepy clown.
Yeah, I was just about to say he's so much more than a creepy clown who sells fast food to kids.
No, but the Ronald McDonald House organization is a great charity, and it's awesome to see them teaming up with another brewery that's been on this show, Boulevard Brewing.
Boulevard Brewing.
And finally, Rogue Ales has teamed up with one of my favorite people on the planet. All right, one thing you need to know about me is I'm obsessed with Iron Chef. Food Network has done a lot over the years, and I would argue Iron Chef is as good as it ever got on Food Network. Iron Chef was like a sports match on in the kitchen. 30-minute meals is great. I get it. I'm not knocking it. And like Cutthroat Kitchen and like Extreme Cook, like all these competition shows. But I don't want to see someone have to cook on like the back of a dented pan. I want to see someone come into the kitchen with all the resources they have at their disposal.
We want to see the all-stars.
And blow my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And that's what Iron Chef did for me all the time. I've seen so many episodes. We don't have time to get into it on this podcast, but if you need a deep dive into the history of Iron Chef,
Michael Simon, we love you.
I've eaten at least 3 Iron Chef's restaurants. But Iron Chef Morimoto has teamed up with Rogue Ales for a limited edition single malt whiskey, and I am pumped about it. So this is another collaboration from this pairing. They have been working together on various projects since 2003. Morimoto actually calls it the longest professional collaboration he has had in his career.
Not bad.
This handcrafted single malt whiskey provides spicy aromas on the nose with subtle smoke and hints of coffee, chocolate, cocoa, and dried fruit. On the palate, the prominent soba nut flavor melds with the distinct dark cocoa, toffee, coffee, and vanilla provided from the Imperial Stout and the subtle smoke from the Rolling Thunder barrels. To complete this bottle, it features a label that was designed by Chef Morimoto himself. Now, I need to back up a little bit because I have to tell you how this whiskey came to be. Now that I told you what it tastes like. This whiskey started at the Rogue Brewery, which is in Newport, Oregon in 2016. It was the Morimoto Imperial Pilsner, which is a beer that he has at his restaurants. As an aside, I didn't know you could make an Imperial Pilsner. I would like to try it. And also the Morimoto Black Obi Ale. After fermentation, they took the wash from those beers. After the beers were fermented, they took the wash, they transferred them from Rogue Brewery to the distillery, where they were distilled and barreled in American oak barrels. The barrels rested in Rogue's ocean aging room, where they absorbed the Pacific Ocean air for over 2 years before being transferred for finishing in Oregon oak. The Oregon oak barrels were built by hand at Rogue's Cooperage Rolling Thunder Barrel Works and previously aged Rogue's award-winning Rolling Thunder Imperial Stout. So, to sum it up, the mash from the beer or the wash, that becomes the whiskey. The barrels have previously aged Imperial Stout. Now they're getting whiskey in the barrels. these flavors coming together. I am a fan. And to top it all off, it's got Morimoto's hand-designed label on it.
That just sounds so incredible. First of all, two things. One, from the picture, Morimoto looks fantastic. He
really
looks
does.
like he lost some weight. Not that he was big, but he just looks good. Look at that hat. He's killing that hat.
The hat is Michael Simon-esque.
Oh, absolutely. He stole that from Michael Simon.
Genius.
My second question is, how much does a bottle of this cost? Because this sounds like it's like top shelf.
It is available for sale at Morimoto restaurants, Rogue pubs, and retailers around the country. And for more information on this, you can visit rogue.com.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to go there and order myself a bottle of or 4 because that sounds incredible.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with this. And just to reiterate, I have not yet eaten at Morimoto's restaurants, any of his restaurants. So maybe we should go and try this whiskey. We just made dinner plans.
It sounds like the perfect evening. So,
you got a toast for us?
I do have a toast. Are you ready?
I'm nervous, but go ahead.
The greatest fear in the world is of the opinions of others. And the moment you are unafraid of the crowd, you are no longer a sheep. You become a lion. A great roar arises in your heart, the roar of freedom. Let's start drinking.
I'm shook. All right, I got to shake that off. There was a very intense energy coming at me.
I found that, and I was just like, I want to get deep with it. So like, it's a lion. They just
I don't really want to drink. I want to go
lie down.
I want to go do karate or something, or smoke peyote in the
same. Let's go.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
You're welcome.
We are starting things off with the Tropical Golden Ale. It's an ale coming in at 4.8% ABV. IBUs don't matter. Beer Advocate has not had a chance to rate it. Untapped has it at 3.66. It's very hazy.
Hazy. Cannot see through it. It's got that classic, I would say, dark straw yellow color, so almost golden.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little bit of head retention. Lasted, I poured this beer a couple minutes ago, and it's still there, about a centimeter to a centimeter and a half thick.
It's a golden yellow. I would put it around a 7 on the SRM chart-ish.
Yep. Yeah.
The brewery describes this as an inspiration brewed with mango, peach, and guava, gently hopped with Citra and Mosaic hops. And it's pretty new. It's one of their newer options, I do believe. Let's see what we got in here.
When we first poured it, something that I've seen before in the beer world, but it hasn't happened on the show yet. We had a little bit of sediment at the bottom of the glass, and that is not a bad thing. Sometimes beer has some little extra sediment. I don't know exactly what it is.
I mean, hazy IPAs are a big thing, and this is not an IPA, it's an ale, but when a beer is hazy, it means that it's unfiltered, and sometimes, especially one of these beers that have, we said this has mango, peach, and guava in it, sometimes that can gather a bit of sediment. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your beer. It's not gross. It's perfectly drinkable. It's not
gonna hurt you. Shut up and drink it.
Just shut up and put it down your throat.
Okay, Citra.
I mean, the first thing that hits you, if you put your nose to this, guava is taking a bat and just hitting you over the head.
I have to say though, I had the beer here, right underneath me, because I was just holding it. I didn't even need it close to my face, and I was smelling. I was like, oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, you get
it's
that.
Very hop forward too. like citra hop forward. Like, I don't know if I'm smelling citrus. I'm smelling the hop.
That's interesting because I am not. I'm smelling citrus like crazy, but it's not orange or grapefruit. It is tropical mango and guava.
Absolutely.
That's what's coming to me.
Everything it says on the can is 100% true. Like, there are no lies in this beer. You know what I mean? Which I'll be interested when we taste it, because the past couple beers we've had, the nose has been one thing and the taste has been another.
That's true.
So I'm interested to see if it'll hold.
That's true. I smelling this
sweetness.
I am ready for like a mouthful of juice, like straight up, like pineapple or guava juice. That's what I'm expecting.
There's a good chance we might not get that.
Exactly.
Which is interesting.
That's interesting.
So,
well, let's do it.
Boom.
Okay, so for me, it is fruit forward. It's not as juicy as the nose was, but it's still juice forward. I definitely get the guava and the mango that are in there. Those hit me up first. There is a strong malt backbone to sort of balance it out. It's not too fruity, and the hops are there for sure. I mean, Mosaic and Citra hops are the right hops for this, and they definitely are present, and you get that Mosaic earthiness. You get the almost that spiciness that you find in some of those Mosaic
it's like very
beers.
subtle, but it's like it's not necessarily in the back end. It's at like the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, it's definitely there. I mean, this is not it's not an imbalanced beer by any means. It's actually really nice and balanced and refreshing. Definitely.
It is very refreshing. That is the perfect word to describe this. It's also very smooth. I don't know that I was expecting that. Like, it went down. It doesn't taste you don't taste carbonation a lot. The mouthfeel is very subtle. It's there, but it's subtle. I'm getting all the flavors. I'm getting everything we talked about. I will say, though, as I said, I think the smell is a little stronger than the taste. I think the taste is there, but what you smell, you get hit over the head with. When you taste it, it's more of like, oh yeah, there are flavors.
Yeah, I think the taste is it's more balanced and layered than maybe when you first smell it. I mean, the first thing you get on your nose, like we said, is sweet and juice. And when you taste it, I mean, you're not going to really smell bitter as much. Right. So the bitterness is there to balance it out. But I think that makes it a really nice, easy drinking, refreshing summer sipper of a beer.
Summer, absolutely. It's got like a bready maltiness to it. Like, the malt is there. It's not the star of the show, I would say, but it is there, and you do taste it.
And the bitterness, like you were kind of saying, is subtle. It's not an IPA. Like, you're not getting pounded with hops.
It looks like an IPA, though. Just because of how hazy it is. It looks like a hazy
like
IPA.
A juice, like a New England. Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I'm also a fan.
I'm glad we got 6 of these.
We're gonna have ourselves a night after the podcast.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, it's a simple, easy sipper, which is great, and especially in the summertime. Coming in at 4.8%, I would hope it would be. You know what I mean?
Right, so. Exactly. Yeah, it's the kind of beer that, I'm trying not to use the beach or boat example every time, or ball game example. Let's say you're at a family reunion picnic. Not just a family picnic. It's got to be a reunion.
Is that, you're talking about the ones where, like, they make the T-shirts and it's like the Johnson 60th family reunion?
Let's say yes.
Yes, I love those.
And let's say your great aunt is there who you haven't seen. Maybe you don't remember her. And
Aunt Tilda.
The aunt who comes up is like, I remember you when you were a baby. And you're like, I don't remember that.
Who are you?
Yeah, you're at one of those. And you're in the park and it's a sunny summer day. This would, and somebody's playing Frisbee.
Yeah.
And you finish playing Frisbee and you're like, oh man, I'm hot. I could use a beer. Pop out one of those golden tropical ales from White Lion Brewing Company.
I love... Oh, yes. I love that line.
It's creepy to me how into that lion you are.
It's so awesome. I like big cats. Like, I love animals.
Apparently.
That's my thing.
That's what this beer is made for. It's a very specific example, I know.
Or if you want to crash some other family's picnic,
better.
Bring one. If you bring a 6-pack of this, they won't kick you out.
Right. Yeah. Well,
they'll be like, well, you're not in the family, but he brought beer, but let him in, or we're not, crazy.
I would let a stranger crash my party if they had beer.
If they had good beer, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you
Not
kidding
if they
me?
brought like Bud Light. Like, no, that party's down the road, bud.
Let's talk about White Lion Brewing Company.
Let's do that, yes, because they are a great and small and lesser known operation, which is I love every brewery that's on our show, with very few exceptions. And
stay thirsty, my friends.
And I love when we have the bigger ones on here too. But I love when we do these small little breweries because we get to spread the word about breweries people may not know about.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we, a lot of people probably haven't heard of White. I didn't hear White Lion up until a little while ago, and now we get to introduce people to White Lion. You know what I mean? And we're introducing ourselves to it because, listen, we can do the research and, the beer, and the brewery and this and that, but it's until the beer hits the lips is when
That's when you know.
That's when your introduction to the brewery has been completed.
Yes,
when
I
you
agree.
drink their beer. You could know all the facts about them, but you got to drink it.
I agree with that. Like for instance, Weathered Souls Brewing Company.
Yeah.
They've been in the news a lot. I feel like I've heard a lot about their brewery, but I feel like I don't know their brewery.
Right.
Because I haven't had the chance to try their beer. Once I try the beer, we're best friends.
Weathered Souls, send us beer so we can talk about how awesome you guys are.
We'll get there.
We'll figure it out.
White Lion Brewing Company was founded in 2012. Raymond L. Berry is the man. He had discussed the idea of starting a craft brewery with his friends, establishing a local product for the city of Springfield. This is Springfield, Massachusetts. We should clarify that because apparently there are a bunch
I think there's a Springfield in like every state.
You know how I found that out? When the Simpsons movie came out years ago.
Dude, out of my head.
They had a contest for which Springfield would host the premiere.
Yes.
And I was like, there's more than one?
Yes, that's exact. Yep.
We know. So in 2012, after much thought, the business blueprint and framework were created. White Lion is the first craft brewery in Springfield, Massachusetts, and they have been killing it ever since. White Lion they refer to themselves as more than a brewer. They refer to themselves as a catalyst for Springfield's revitalization.
Yeah, it sounds, from what we've read and from what we've discovered, it sounds like, yes, they are a brewery and they're making beer and they want to distribute everywhere, but it sounds like they are just like a very homegrown, home-based producer of beer. Like they're doing it for Springfield.
Yeah, and Springfield is, I have family in the Springfield area. Outside of it, I haven't spent a lot of time in the city itself, but Springfield is an interesting place. I don't think of it as a city all that much, but I do know that they have a new casino, which I believe is in MGM Grand. How appropriate is that?
How appropriate is that, number one? Number two, why the hell didn't we go and lose some money at the slots? We had time. Well,
you know what's weird? It didn't even cross my mind.
I didn't even know.
That's how COVIDed I am.
Yeah,
it didn't even cross my brain. But I've wanted to go. I haven't been. But I think that that's part of when they talk about the revitalization of Springfield. That's what I think of, and White Lion is
right
along with them. So they have a variety of brews. They also do like a beer garden thing they host?
Yes. They have all sorts of things like that. They're doing everything they can to expand and get bigger and
yeah, but they do host a like a pop-up beer garden that they have outside, or I forget exactly what they refer to it as. They're like a summer beer garden that they do in the Tower
Lion
Square
Garden. Lion Beer Garden Lion. I'm just making.
Are you just making up
I'm
names?
I'm just pulling at strings right now. I have no idea.
I don't think that's what it's called. Yeah, it's probably called Garden Lion.
Garden Lion. That sounds like a restaurant.
This is the thing. White Lion was supposed to open their tasting room in May of this year. So they do have it open. It's open like Wednesdays and Friday evenings or something like weird times.
Yeah. Because when we tried to get the beer, we wanted to actually go to the brewery. We unfortunately were unable to. But I don't remember who I spoke with at the brewery, but he hooked us up and said you can get the beer here, there, and there.
Yeah.
And we ended up at Eddie's.
But they were supposed to open their brewery at Tower Square in Springfield in May, so I'm positive that COVID had some effects on that. But they do
Totally.
like summer beer gardens that they host, and they had been hosting they did in the summer of 2019, sort of like pop-up beer gardens. People come, it's outside, they're serving beer on tap at these like makeshift taps they have set up outside. So and the employee at Eddie's mentioned that to us as well. So,
absolutely. I wanted to mention real quickly, for those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of like Greek mythology and myths and things like that. And so this fun little anecdote caught my eye about the lion symbol. The legend of the white lion has been shared for centuries. Folklore declares that white lions are children of the sun gods and thus mythical creatures. They are portrayed as rare phenomenons and a sign of good found in all mankind. The white lion name gives this brewery a majestic, sophisticated vibe that certainly holds true for the beer styles as well. And from tasting this first ale, I would say yes, indeedy dandy.
Yeah, I love to see, it's I just love to see that they're kind of getting a little bit more experimental, for a brewery that's been around for 8 years now.
We don't do math here.
Well, it was conceived 8 years ago. Who knows how long exactly they've been popping out beer, but they're doing things like a golden ale. Of course, we'll get into some of the more beers that they have on tap and stuff, but whereas Rhythm is in a very like we have our
we have our red, we have our blue.
Yes, like a very new, and our black is beautiful.
Right.
And by the way, White Lion is also producing a Black is Beautiful. It is not out now. We're thinking we might do like a Black is Beautiful show.
Yeah.
Just do a whole bunch of these.
We should just mention the breweries and hopefully we can get our hands. I'm sure we'd be able to get our hands on some of the beers.
But there's so Rhythm was collabing with Two Roads and White Lion is collabing with Trillium, which is an excellent brewery.
Correct. Yes.
So their Trillium collab Black is Beautiful will be out possibly by the time this airs, if not very soon.
Nice.
It's coming out this coming week, I believe. So we don't have that, but we have another beer though.
We have another beer, and it's a little more epic, a little more stronger, and a little more of a favorite amongst the White Lion community, so to speak. So I say, we go get it.
Okay.
Beer number 2, the Galaxy American IPA. This, first of all, the can is just exquisite. It's so amazing. And look on our Insta, you'll see it.
Yeah, look on
coming in at 7%. It is IBUs are coming in at 47. Beer Advocate gave it an 86. Untapped gave it a 3.63. On the SRM chart, we're looking at another hazy guy. I would say about an 8 or 9-ish. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd put it there as well. Yeah. Not surprisingly, it's heavily brewed with Galaxy hops, hence the name. It is a West Coast IPA, which is Steven's favy, brewed with a blend of hops, predominantly Galaxy hops, balanced by a smooth malt profile, also Citra hops and other citrusy type hops, and the result is a hoppy, citrusy, and fairly crushable IPA.
Which is great and interesting because most of the reviews I read about this beer and this 7%er is that it's crushable. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to work. Not traditionally.
No, not something you traditionally see with a 7% West Coast IPA.
It poured very straw yellow / golden yellow color, like dark yellow color to it. Has some pretty good lacing, pretty sticky to the sides. Head retention, not really. There's like a little bit at the top.
See, but mine retained pretty well.
Yeah, yours. You've got a cloudy pillow over there. I do not. Mine went away. I don't know if maybe I poured it wrong or something.
I had a good couple inches of this like white ivory foam that retained, and I poured it a little bit more aggressively than you did, so that may be why. But I had a good.
What the hell?
I had a good pillow there, and it's got a kind of receded into about a half inch of white foam, but it's still there, and it's got some decent lacing along the sides. And like you said, it is hazy. I'm not seeing the kind of sediment in the bottom that we were seeing in the last.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that either.
But yeah, it's that sort of straw yellow color with a little bit of orange, sort of amber glow to it. On the nose,
orange.
Yeah, I get orange, I get grapefruit, and I get hops for sure.
Yeah.
This one, the hops come through, and what hits your nose is sort of a earthy, sort of spicy hop thing. Like they didn't really say what other hops are in there besides Galaxy hops. My guess would be Mosaic.
Probably.
First and foremost,
just because of how it smells.
Yeah, and probably Citra, but Mosaic is just a distinct smell to me. It's sort of earthy, it's spicy, it's
another it's got the subtle sweetness to it though, which is awesome.
Yeah,
it's got that subtle. It could be a dessert, but it isn't.
Well, I'm picking up the citrus, like the grapefruit, and I'm picking up a little bit of peach. But I'm also picking up definitely like a little. It's subtle. It's not resin, but it's definitely like a little bit of dankness.
No. I'm smelling that as well, and for 7%, I would assume so. So. Yeah.
Oh, I like this so much.
Okay, whoever said this is crushable must be some sort of badass because. I don't know if I would call this crushable. This is good. It's great, but it doesn't pack a punch, but it packs a jab.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
It's Chuck Norris crushable.
Yeah, you have to have you have to I don't know, you have to be super tough to crush one of these.
It's not it sort of reminds me of, and for our listeners, go back and listen to the 6 Point episode and go get your hands on 6 Point resin, because for me, that's what I use to that's my baseline. It's like 125 IBUs. It's like the most bitter, most high alcohol sort of like combination of those things that I know. So I always compare it to that. This has the bitterness of that, which is interesting because only at 47 IBUs, it tastes more bitter than that.
Yeah, which is interesting.
But the alcohol content is lower, so it's not like it's like, okay, grab onto your chairs, we got to down this beer.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, I'm not going to be slamming this.
Yeah, no, God, no. It's got the carbonation to it in the back end. It's got that malt backbone, but it's got the hoppy flavors. It's citrus. It's hazy. It is a little juicy. But I do enjoy it. But yeah, I can't. Who's chugging this?
No, but here's the thing for me. West Coast IPA is almost like, okay, I don't want to say it's a dying art form. It's not. There are plenty of those. And the reason that the New England and juicy, hazy IPAs are taking off so much is because the West Coast style was so kind of overdone. But I like the juicy, hazy New Englands, but I love a bitter West Coast IPA.
You like that bite.
I love the bite.
Road to Ruin, man.
And I know. And this is exactly that. It's an IPA. I don't have to go super high alcohol. Like, I could have this out at a restaurant and feel like I'm getting a nice, sturdy beer.
Uh-huh.
But it's not, I don't have to go into the 8-9% alcohol. Like Road to Ruin, if I have one, I can't have a second one. Or if it
depends what kind of night.
I can, but I got to stretch beforehand. I got to do some yoga. I got to.
Yeah, you got to get prepared.
Right, and
I would agree with that.
Like, this scratches the itch that I feel like once upon a time, Dogfish Head used to do for me, or I don't know, what's my go-to IPA back in the day? Maybe a Magic Hat number 9 used to long time ago.
Yeah.
We're talking a long time ago. But this is a sturdy, solid beer. I love it. I am so happy we have more of these.
It's pretty pungent, which is great. Yeah, that's the thing. If we had known how good this beer was going to be, we would have picked up another couple packs of this just to stock up.
And I gotta say, again, and I don't mean to keep bringing them up, but shout out to the dude at Eddie's Liquor, because we just walked into a liquor store we'd never been in, and we were just like, "Hey, you got White Lion anywhere?"
Yeah, and they were like,
"Dude,
case number 1." We're like, okay.
And he was super excited about it. They had a bunch of their offerings in there, and he was like, "You need to get either this one or this one." And the Galaxy was one of them.
Yeah, he recommended the Galaxy, and then for the second one, we just kind of looked at all the options. We said Tropical Secrets. That sounds pretty awesome, and so we went with it. This to me, I can agree. This is like, you have it with dinner and you get that itch for the, that strong bitter beer. It's also, you could have this beer on multiple occasions. It could be that dinner beer. It could be that I just got back home from work and I had let me say this. If this is one of those beers that you have the second you walk in the door after a long day at work, it must have been a pretty hard shitty day, or it's Friday and you're getting ready for the weekend.
But like, because it's so bitter, this is the thing. Like, I think it's pretty well documented over the last 33 episodes that I love like higher ABV beers, right?
Really?
But and barrel aged and all that stuff. But it's mostly about, I want a lot of flavor. Like, I just I want something that's not sort of easy drinking. I want to be sipping on my beer. I want to be nursing it for a while. I like that.
You want to be thinking about it. You want to be taking the time to go, what is in this? Because we've all been there where it's like, sometimes you're like, I don't care. I just want to feel something. But like right now for us, we want to dissect the beer.
And, time and place, right? But if I came home from work at the end of a long day and I had a cocktail, I would sip on it for a while, right? So I don't really want like some 4% Pilsner that I'm going to throw back in 5 minutes and be like, give me a second one. I want a beer that I'm going to... So all that to say, this is not necessarily high alcohol. It's 7%. It's not barrel aged. It's not any of that. But because it's so bitter and the hops are doing so many different things, I mean, it's not just bitter. It's a layering, like you said. There's some juiciness to it. There's some citrus. There's some sweet. There's a decent level of carbonation in there. The malt backbone helps to balance it out. It's not just like hop, hop, hop in your face. It's, it's very well balanced. So it's something that I could sip on for a while and experience a whole lot of flavor and enjoy what it's doing to my palate.
So let me ask you this. So the last beer, the Tropical Secrets Golden Ale, was this is the beer you drink at the Johnson 60th annual family reunion. Where do you drink this beer? This one, the Galaxy.
Okay, so you drink the Galaxy in, wow, there's so many occasions I could go with. Movie theaters have started serving beer now, at least in Connecticut, or back when we could go to movie theaters.
Interesting.
So I feel like it's not just any movie, okay? This isn't a Shrek beer, all right? This is like, this is like you went to see one of those movies you got to work at. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, if I told you
Leonardo DiCaprio's in it.
Or George Clooney, you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Like, you know when you go to see, like, Good Night and Good Luck? Excellent movie. I love that movie. It's so good. Davis Strathairn, I don't know how you say his name.
Stratherhorn. That's not how you say it.
He got an Oscar nomination for it. Robert Downey Jr., George Clooney, excellent movie. But it's in black and white, and it's about news, and it's like if you sit down to watch that, you gotta get
your seatbelt.
Yeah, you gotta work at it. You know what I mean? Like, it's the reason it took me so long to watch 1917. It's just like
oh, dude, 1917 was amazing.
I know, it's so good, but like I had to work at it. Anyway, the point is, if you go to the movies to see one of those movies they have this on tap, this would be a great option.
This, to me, like I said earlier, is you just got home from work, it's been a long day at work, and you're like, you know what, I want to drink something good and feel good. Also, maybe it's because we're both actors, but my second impression of this is the beer you get at the bar after seeing your friend's show. When the cast goes out for a drink, you're like, give me the White Lion Galaxy.
Yeah, there are so many.
This is a celebration beer.
There are so many situations this beer applies to. I'm trying to pick the weirdest options. But like, all that to say, this beer.
Your cousin's quinceañera that you got forced to go to. I don't know. your aunt's birthday party, which why is she still having parties? But
Auntie? What?
Auntie can throw down. This okay, so the people that say they can crush this, Auntie can crush this.
This is a complete tangent, but I got invited to a 100-year-old birthday party once.
Nice.
Like a few months out. And I was like, are we writing this in pencil? Because at that age, planning a few months out is
what if
it's optimistic.
What if God forbid something happened? Like, would you just cancel the plans?
I was like, so are we booking flights for this? Because
oh my God, can you imagine?
Because United doesn't do refunds.
Who is this for?
It's someone it doesn't matter.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
So this beer is applicable to so many situations. I'm just saying, like, if you're like, like we always talk about like summer. I mean, and feel free to drink this in the summer, but if you're like summer tailgating, this isn't necessarily one you want in the middle of the day because it's definitely got some bite to it. This is
like the fourth quarter, like
yeah.
All right, we got one quarter left, and our team is winning by a lot or losing by a lot.
They don't serve beer in the fourth quarter. I've learned this.
Yeah, that's right. They close, and then for baseball games, they close it at what, the seventh inning?
Something like that. And you got to be, because I'm always
so get your beer ahead of time.
I'm always like, let me wait for the end, and I'll get one more beer before we go, and then I always get screwed.
They have quite a few other beers that they have been a brewing. Going off of their site, looking at them really quickly, as we mentioned, the Galaxy we're drinking, they've got a Pale Ale 2.0 coming in at 6%. They've got a Without Exception Chocolate Stout coming in at 6%. A Winter Fruits Kettle Sour coming in at 5%, and an Insane Maine Red Ale coming in at 6.5%, all with the Lion logo in different colors and whatnot.
And you're going off their delivery website?
Yes.
Right? Yes. Yeah, so also they have, and these are not beers you can necessarily get right now, but also in their profile, they have the White Lion Pale Ale, which is their flagship pale ale. They have a Twisted Tail Cream Ale, which is interesting.
Ooh.
They have a black IPA. They have a red ale called Insane Maine, M-A-N-E, like a lion. They have a session IPA, and they do have an Oktoberfest, which I assume will be out soon.
Nice.
As well as a Kolsch and the Ferocity session IPA.
I like Kolsch beer. The first time I had Kolsch beer was when I was in London.
Yeah, they have. I mean, it's a nice like German style, and
I liked it,
like similar to a Pilsner sort of thing. And then they also have done some sours. They had I'm not sure if they still have it now. They had a Cranberry Wit, which was a Hefeweizen at some point. So they have plenty to offer, and they are doing delivery in the Massachusetts sort of Springfield area at the moment. And then, like we said, you can look out for that Black is Beautiful Trillium collab if you're in the Massachusetts area coming up.
Hell yeah.
I would love to try it. This Galaxy IPA.
I feel like I'm in the Galaxy right now.
It is delicious.
It is
I don't want to move on before I just like nail this down. Like I need the listeners to know I drink a lot of beer, and like this one gets me because the West Coast thing is strangely hard to find right now.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many breweries I've been to. It's like I look at their draft list at the brewery, and they have a ton of IPAs, and they're all New Englands. I get it, but and believe me, I've had some my favorite beer right now. My favorite beer, like of the moment, is there's a brewery in Connecticut called Kinsman, and they have this triple, and it's
the Quad. You mean?
The Quad,
Quad.
It's 13%, and it's we should do it on this show. At some point, we should do it because
let me just put it to you this way: I had to drive home.
Yeah, it's so juicy. It's like you take a sip of it, and you're like, "Did I just drink mead or something?"
Yeah,
like it's so sweet,
awesome.
It's delicious. But I love the West Coast IPA style. I don't even know why they call it that because I live on the West Coast and I can't even find West Coast IPAs. Like
that seems backwards.
It's just how hard it is to find a good IPA of this style right now. So White Lion Brewing, I would happily drive back to Springfield, Massachusetts to get my hands on this.
Dude, you name the time and place, we're there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, we should
get the hell out of here. But before we go, this is actually works out pretty well going off the theme of animals. I'm going to call the title of this segment, Germany Needs to Chill. That's all I'm going to say. In Germany, there was a naked sunbather who was chasing a wild boar through a park after the boar stole his laptop bag. Yeah, you heard that right. And if for all of you thinking like, oh, is it like a hot woman or like a dude with chiseled six-pack? No, it's just some old fat dude who's naked running through the park chasing a wild boar. I don't know what Germany's getting into, but apparently it's nuts. They were in a bathing spot in the Grunwald Forest in Berlin, Germany. It happened at Teufelsee Lake. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. But yeah, a boar took this guy's, it doesn't even look like a laptop bag. It just looks like a regular bag, but he took it and ran off with it. And this dude chased him. And you can see photos online. Obviously, everything is, blocked off and whatnot, but people are laughing. There's the boar with her two little piglets, and one of the quotes says, "But the cheeky boar and its two piglets appear to be too quick for the sunbather, who can't keep up with their speedy little trotters." What the hell is going on?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Why is he naked? Why is no one alarmed that he's naked? I mean, I could chalk that up to like Europe.
Yeah, that's just Europe in a nutshell.
But why are there wild boar? I mean, is that
a thing?
If I saw a wild pig, if I saw a pig just come around the corner anywhere in this country, I don't care where I am, I'd be like, whose pig is this?
Whose pig?
Someone's got to own this. Are we
near a farm?
I'm also really distracted because on the website, which is, this admittedly comes from the Mirror, which is, in terms of news, is sort of
they're pulling
one step above below the New York Post. But one of the sort of clickbait articles says Lily from AT&T causes a stir on the red carpet. And
I'm sorry?
It's that chick from the AT&T commercials. Like, hey, it's Lily. I'm here. And I hate her.
What?
It's not for any reason. It's just like after coronavirus hit, like for a while, there were no new commercials. And then the first one that was like new was her like in a house. Like, I don't even know how they shot it, but it was her. It's like, I'm back and I'm working from home and I'm here to help you. And I don't know what streaming app I was using, but like, it was probably Food Network. Like, like those apps, they just play the same commercial over and over and over and over. And I saw this same commercial just again and again. You can't fault her
for that.
And again and again. I do, though. But this is her on the red carpet, like dolled up, looking. I mean, I don't even know why she was on a red carpet.
She was at the Geico Awards.
Do they have...
That's a thing, right?
Her name is Milana Vaintrub. I didn't mean to hijack your...
No, you're good.
Story about
we went from an awkward, fat, naked dude to a fairly attractive Geico commercial lady. So it's Geico, right?
It's AT&T.
It's AT&T. Wow, I've been drinking. Okay, it's AT&T.
And apparently she's, I mean, look, we're actors. I get it. You're in a commercial campaign and a really successful one, and good for you. I think her name, I said that already. I think my biggest thing is like, there was one thing where one of the commercials, she's like, here's a tip, and she says something about cell phones, and then she's like, here's another tip. You can put googly eyes on your stuff to make yourself, and it's like, and like the weird, it's like weirdly, like kind of like she's almost got like a southern drawl when she says it, and I hated it.
She couldn't hide the accent. Like, where is this article? I'm not seeing this.
This isn't are we getting different clickbait on the same website?
Oh my God, that's the government right there.
It's
yeah, I just want to reiterate the fact that this guy who's running after the boar is old and fat, and it makes me sad.
And Milana Vaintrub is not. She's a beautiful.
Not. So if you see that clickbait, maybe click on it because it might turn your day around.
She's an actress and comedian, and apparently she's currently like all of us out of work. Although
She's like the Flo of AT&T.
Although she's like the first actor on the globe that got to have a job after coronavirus, because she definitely was like, I'm back and I'm working from home. So they shot it after.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But this article is like, well, while she's not working as an actress, like, she's fine.
I love the post COVID-19 commercials they're making, because it's like, we're still at home, but we're working for you. AT&T. Like, it's just like always, it's like.
Well, a lot of them.
Yeah, we get it.
A lot of them, they look like they were shot, at home. But like some of them, every now and then you see one that looks like a real commercial and you're like, how'd you do that?
I know, right? Like, I don't know if they just had it in storage and they were waiting to post it, or.
I don't know either.
I have no idea. But
I know the industry, and I know that there's, shooting is not allowed in most places right now. Like, I don't really.
All I know is Germany needs to chill.
And apparently they have wild pigs, and nobody seems concerned about this fat guy running through the park. Guys.
I'm concerned, but with that, let's get the hell out of here.
We need to go check out White Lion Brewing Company. If you find yourself anywhere near Springfield or can get your hands on their beer, I cannot recommend the Galaxy enough if you're into IPAs.
Even if you're in Massachusetts, they distribute a little bit outside of Springfield, so you should be able to get your hands on the beer elsewhere, but definitely check them out. Definitely keep supporting. And on that supporting note, support the Hot Podcast with Gabe and Steven, because we love what we do and we love that we're here for you guys. Let us know what you want us to drink. Send us an email, DM us, comment on things, do what you got to do, get the word out. Let us know if you want us to repeat a brewery with other beers, maybe. I don't know.
We'll think about it. And I can't stress this enough. The Apple podcast reviews are so helpful. So Thank you to anyone who has done that already. And those reviews help us make the show better for you. So please keep doing that. Keep listening, keep supporting, and keep drinking local. Have a great week, and we will see you next week, everybody.
Peace out. Do us a favor. Please keep wearing your masks.
Cheers, guys.